If you're wanting to create a relationship that has both emotional depth and that sexual spark, there are 3 skills that you need to be developing that will support you in creating that type of dynamic. And don't worry, I've got one coming out of 3 skills that she needs to have as well that will help you recognize an emotionally mature woman. It does take 2 to create this type of relationship dynamic, and these skills are ones that are going to be supportive of you regardless of your relational status. So if you're new to my work, my name's Courtney Shand. I'm a relationship coach. I really love helping men embody confidence, clarity, conviction, and charisma as they're moving into the dating space. This helps them not only feel calm and centered as they're dating, but also attracts the right type of women to them. This is what's going to allow you to create the type of relationship dynamic that you're looking for, is the ability to use both intimacy and polarity to your advantage. Before we dive in, I just want to give a caveat here that emotional maturity doesn't equal easy. Having an emotionally mature partner doesn't mean that things will be calm and easy all the time. What it does mean is that even though things will be confronting, probably more so the more emotionally mature they are, it will be more productive as well. So the amount of emotional maturity required to get to the root of the problem quickly and effectively is also the speed at which you will move through that process and feel closer together by the end of it. So these are the skills that you need to be focusing on in order to kind of uphold that half the masculine portion of this type of relating style. The first one that I see most often needing to be strengthened is the ability to take emotions less personally. There are lots of reasons that we take emotions personally from childhood, where you may have been blamed for creating the emotional tension, or you may have been interpreting it that way from your own lens. Either way, that sets us up a lot of times when we get into an adult relationship to receive blame or a projection from our partner from about their emotions, whether or not they can handle them. We make it about us. We tend to take a lot of responsibility for them. And while they can be true, that can be their reality, and they can inform the action that you take next, they don't necessarily mean anything about you. When you can start to create a little bit of gap there between the emotion and you're able to see things with more clarity and take the correct action instead of getting swirled into the emotional experience of feeling blamed or feeling angry or like you need to protect yourself in that way. When you're able to do this, you can stay calm and hear the information that you're needing to from your partner without getting activated. Therefore, you're going to be more effective in moving through conflict that is natural in relating. The closer we get to people, the more of their emotions we have to help navigate as well. So if you're taking them less personally, it's going to keep things clean and a little bit more directive for you. You can take action when you need to, and you can just listen when you need to as well. Those are both very helpful skills in terms of relating. The second one is to own what you want. This is going to look very simply like putting the boundaries in place to support the life and the experience that's meaningful for you. When you have this skill in place, this is going to set you up not only for more career advancement, you're going to be able to feel stable in your life and also bring someone into your life in a way that is authentically aligned with the life that you're wanting to create. So instead of saying no when you mean yes or yes when you mean no, you're going to be able to navigate putting boundaries in place that keep you moving in the direction that feels best for you. Ideally, you want to be attracting someone who is also moving in that same direction or has a similar vision for the type of relationship that you're wanting to create. This is going to help you with navigating not only interpersonal situations like at work or with your family or stressors outside that can impact your relationship, but also some boundaries within yourself of how you show up, how you operate, that's going to help you lead yourself in the lifestyle that you most want to have. The third skill you want to be working on if you want to build an emotionally connected relationship is learning how to take responsibility for your emotions. This is twofold, as I'm going to talk about it right now. First of all, we want to learn how or master regulating your emotional experience. This is a lot to do with how your nervous system responds to emotional stimuli. The more capacity that you can build to be with that charge, that electric current flowing through your body, that fight or flight response, if you will, the easier time you're going to have when you are across from someone else who's exhibiting that. This is going to allow other people around you to naturally drop into the present moment with you and give you either the truth of the information that you're needing to take action on, where they really trust you and will follow what you are suggesting, or it's going to give you the ability to see where this is not a good spot for me to be and I need to just remove myself. You having that clear-headedness is direct correlation to your level of ability to regulate your nervous system. So we want to have this kind of up and down effect. And a lot of times for clients, I see that they're just constantly in this state of arousal, of activation, where they're constantly having to think and plan and navigate. And this is partly to do with the demands of life, but also it has to do with the skill set that we need to be developing. And this is, I would say, gender neutral, but this is something that I see for a lot of my male clients, is learning to actually regulate their body and drop out of that fight or flight response. Even if it's just for a few hours a day, goes a long way in your creative capacity, your actual problem solving skills, and your ability to grow beyond where you are, either in career, relationships, or just in personal satisfaction. The other part of this is the reflection process. So part of taking responsibility for your emotions means that you're willing to look at and reflect on where this may be coming from. Is this something old that you need to either get some help uncovering or maybe process in a different modality, a different way? Or is this something that is a repeating pattern for you? A lot of times those are the two reasons that my clients are looking for some outside support, is to get some new eyes or new perspective on why this pattern keeps happening or where this kind of underlying feeling is coming from. This is a really great place to have some extra support because we don't know what we can't see. There are always blind spots for each of us, and that's part of what relationships, the gift of relationships, is that they will reflect these blind spots to us so that we can start to fill in those parts of our self, so that we can kind of come at things from a more holistic, more accurate lens. We get to bring all of us to life instead of just these parts of us that we already know. And the closer that you get to someone, the more of those reflection points are going to be coming online. So if you're willing to regulate yourself in those moments and not see it as a threat, you're not taking it personally, you're also able to reflect on some of these things and either get some extra support if that's what you need, or talk it out with a friend. Those can be really great ways to take some responsibility for your emotional experience. And the reason that this really is so important is because if you are across from someone, your ability to ground your own experience is going to set the tone to what they are willing to do too. And I know this isn't true across the board 100% of the time, but in my experience, the person who is willing to regulate their nervous system is going to have a calming effect on the other person. And if that's not the case, if the other person can't regulate themselves and this isn't a safe space for you, then you get to take action on your behalf. You get to know what you want to do in that situation. So learning how to regulate your emotions is really important for building that depth of emotional connection that you're looking for, because from there you can step more into the polarization of the relationship. This is where you're going to experience more activation in your body. That eros energy that I talk about a lot is going to be highly stimulating for your nervous system. And if you are kind of intertwining it with your emotional experience and you're not able to create some separation there, it's going to have a greater charge in your body than if you can create a little bit of separation there. The reason that these three skills are so important, especially for my clients who are wanting to create both emotional depth and that spark of polarity, is because without the emotional depth and safety, the spark of polarity will not translate in the way that you're wanting. It's not something that usually will last. We want to have that safety and contrast that comes with intimacy and polarity. And it is that combination that allows for the person across from you to be more present with you, to drop into that purposeful polarity that's going to create that charge of attraction. When you can regulate your emotions own what it is that you want and not take their emotions personally, you have a greater chance of staying at the metaphoric table long enough to really vet this person and see if they're a good fit for you long term, or if you are seeing enough of the skill sets that you need to have complementing yours to create something that will last. This is why it's so important that you have these 3 skills online and or are actively developing them. Not only that, but the women who I've been working with on the other side of this conversation that I'll tell you about next week are looking for these 3 skills. These are some that they are saying, these are the things that have broken relationships in the past, and these are the things that are needed for me to continue relating to someone. So I wanted to bring those to you today. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the feminine side, things that you can recognize in her that let you know she is emotionally maturing to the point where she can handle a serious relationship that has both depth and polarity. I did just drop a deeper training of that in my program Rooted. So if you want the full deep dive of that, feel free to check out that course. Otherwise, circle back next week and I will have that for you. If you want homework from this, check out the community tab. I'd love to have you join the membership. And if you're needing one-on-one support, I have space for that available as well. I hope you guys have such a great week, and I will see you soon.